Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ecommerce Coffee Break podcast. Today we want to talk about checkout extensibility. Means what can you do to improve your checkout for more conversions? Very important topic, and a lot of Shopify merchants might not know about that. There is a lot of potential for you in there to improve your checkout. So with me on the show today, I have Kyle Truong. He is a software developer, has built Shopify apps since 2019, and he brings a love of building more value to stores, to other merchants. We want to talk about his app, Shopify Checkout Buddy, which is a Shopify built to optimize your checkout. So let's dive right into it. Hi, Kyle. How are you today?
Really well, thank you.
Kyle, tell me, checkout, something that a lot of merchants in the past did not or could not access to optimize it. Now that has changed, and there is a lot of opportunities in there. Give me an idea why the last step in a customer journey, the checkout, is so important.
Yeah, so checkout, just checkout in general, it is the final process of the shopping experience, and a lot of businesses they spend a lot of time just with customer acquisition and product research and market research. And you really want to make sure that that last step, that checkout experience, is good, because like if you put in all that work and it doesn't work out, then they drop off for whatever reason, whether it's like performance reasons or they just have a question that's not answered. That's the idea of checkout extensibility, that you extend and customize your checkout in a way that's optimized for your customer so that you can get that conversion in.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the past, you had the three-step checkout in Shopify. There was not much you could change there, but that has changed. Give me an overview. What are the recent changes within Shopify?
So it's pretty big. Like there's a lot of different areas in which it's changed, and a lot of things that have gone underneath the hood that we don't really see, but it's gone a lot of infrastructure upgrades that make the latency speed a lot faster and just a lot of higher converting benefits. But basically, the things that we can see is for the past, I guess, the past decade or so, like we've had the three-step checkout, and it's standard, it works, but then it's not really optimal. So lately Shopify has been adding things like Shop Pay, which has a higher conversion rate, and a one-page checkout, which a lot of merchants have been asking for. And a lot of people have been wanting to customize checkout, and before it was only available to Shopify Plus through checkout.liquid. So it's like just one file, and it's like every time you want to make a customization, you have to go into the code and you have to make a adjustment. So you kind of have to hire a developer or have somebody make that change for you, and it's not really optimal, I guess. And so now they're offering checkout extensibility, so they're just making checkout into a platform. So developers like me, they can make apps, and then basically one app can serve as many Shopify Plus merchants, and you don't have to have your own dev to make your own specific customizations.
Mm-hmm. Now, give me a bit of an idea what kind of optimizations or what kinds of extensions you can use in your checkout now.
Okay, so checkout, like the kind of customizations, it all ties into checkout extensibility, which is like a combination of multiple technologies that enables the extension and customization of your checkout. So one branch of these customizations, I like to call them UI components. So basically cross-sells, upsells, trust badges, links. If you want to add a custom form field or like a bunch of form fields, those are the kind of widgets that you can add. And they're always adding more stuff too. Like if you want to add a date picker, if you want to schedule your order or shipping or anything like that. So that's one category of orders, but there's also, one order of customizations, but there's also more customizations that we can talk about too.
Mm-hmm. Give me a real life example of a store who's using extensions and what the thinking behind it is. So why do they pick specific features?
So on the simple side, like the most basic customizations, like just if you want to add like if you want to increase your average order value, you just add a cross sell to your checkout. So it's like really easy. If you're selling a shoe and then you want to like upsell something like, let's say, a shoe cleaner, it's an easy upsell. But if you want to get more specific, there's been a lot of Shopify businesses that are migrating from other platforms, and they've had customized checkouts, but they don't have them in Shopify checkout because they just didn't have those customizations before. So, for example, one business, they were very heavy on the affiliates. So basically, they have a network of thousands of affiliates, and these affiliates refer their customers to them. And in checkout, they had this option where they can say, like, were you referred by an affiliate? And if they were, they can type the name in, and then it matches against the database. And then if there's a match, it applies a discount to the for the customer, and then it matches back to the affiliate. So everybody wins. And that's one level of customize. I mean, those are a couple of examples of customizations in the checkout.
Now, with the customizations, obviously one thing is building up more trust. So you can obviously use trust markers, badges, and something like that on the checkout page, which you couldn't use in the past. What kind of or what's the implementation process on getting these extensions to work in the checkout page?
Yeah, so it's actually really simple. If you've ever used Online Store 2.0, it's kind of like that. So there's a checkout editor that's kind of like the storefront editor, and you have a bunch of blocks and sections. So you can just use reusable blocks of apps. And then within this checkout editor, it's like a sandbox environment. So you can just kind of add the block, remove it, move it to any section you want. You can customize the settings right in there, and you can preview it. And if you don't like it, remove it. If you like it, save it, and it publishes to your checkout. So yeah, it's basically you install the app, make the component, and then add it to the checkout editor, and then you can preview it from there.
From your experience with your clients, is there a maximum number of different features they should add? Because a lot of merchants have then a shiny object syndrome, and they add everything that's available, and then obviously that backfires. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that has been quite an issue on the storefront. I mean, yeah, the more apps you add, the more the longer it takes to load. That's been the experience on the storefront. But actually, the really cool thing about checkout extensibility is that that's not really the case, because the infrastructure and the loading speed is all handled by Shopify. So like when we make a component using checkout extensibility, it's not really using the app server. It's using Shopify's servers and all that stuff. And that's like a really huge shift, because infrastructures are really hard to problem. Shopify has spent like a decade of like resources just investing and improving checkout. And this is the first time that we can actually, as developers, build on Shopify's infrastructure. And I can't express how big of a deal that is, because before you have your own Shopify independent developers, they do their front end, they do their back end, and they have to do their server infrastructure, which is really hard if you want to scale to the scale of Shopify businesses. But now it's all taken care of by Shopify. And so add as many checkout customizations as you want.
Okay, so it has no impact on the speed because Shopify takes care of it.
Okay, now, sorry, I should make a disclaimer for that, because there are some Shopify extensions that make calls to networks, and then those definitely slow down the checkout experience, and that's not really good. But then, yeah, it depends on which checkout customization you're looking for. Some are very simple, very static. They don't need extra interactions with a network. So those customizations, they load really fast, and they don't impact your store speed or checkout speed.
Okay, understood. Now, you gave an example with the affiliates. There you have flexible display rules. So how does that work? How can you create it flexible on the checkout page?
Yeah, so that's something offered by Checkout Buddy. It's basically a lot of checkout customizations are just like flat. You add a banner, you add a cross sell, you add this like upsell or check like this form field. But sometimes merchants want more customized rules, like for a specific customer or for most of the customers like if you're shipping to one country but not another country, you want the customization to show for that country. So for the display rule, you just kind of add the rule. It's very flexible. You can do like and or rules. So basically, if it's in this country and in this province, you show the customization. If not, then it hides it. And that can work for payment customizations and delivery customizations too. But yeah, people have been having a lot of fun with these customizations, especially for, just like the shipping banners and just warning customers like, we don't ship to this country for this product, and they can like block the checkout in those cases. So they have to remove the item before they can proceed.
It sounds like very helpful, because with a flexible checkout, you basically prevent orders coming through that you cannot fulfill. So that's actually quite a nice feature there. When it comes to A/B testing, you want to find obviously out which of the bits and pieces that you put in the checkout are really converting and adding to average order value, for instance. Is there A/B testing feature included in Checkout Buddy?
Oh yeah, there's A/B features for the cross sells and the upsells. Basically, data is important, and you want to know how your promotions are doing, how your cross sells are doing. So sometimes you want to A/B test whether it's this product or that product, which one sells more. And so it's like a 50-50 split. And and checkout will just show, it'll just A/B test it, and then you'll see the stats in the analytics within the app.
Mm-hmm. How does it look like for internationalization? So for multi-currency, multi-language stores, how does that work there?
Yeah, so that's pretty big feature of Shopify Plus. You have different markets, and so one market may be English, one may be French, one may be German or something. So Checkout Buddy does have that built in too. It's translations, and it's based on the language of the checkout. So basically, you make your primary component or customization, and then you go to the translations tab. And basically, if you have a certain market that you want to translate for, you can add that customization. So when the language of the checkout changes, it shows that customization, it shows that language instead of the primary language. And there's also a lot of market-based customization. So some merchants want specific customizations for specific markets. So not just on a language level, but on a market level and type of customization. And so I'm building that into.
Mm-hmm. Checkout Buddy is only for Shopify Plus, if I understand that right. Is there what's the decision-making process going from a normal Shopify plan to Shopify Plus? Just talk me through that.
All right, so Shopify Plus, it is like a premium feature. It costs quite a bit of money compared to the regular Shopify features. I mean, Shopify plan. But if you want to customize checkout with these UI components, it's only available on Shopify Plus. So like before, you had checkout.liquid, and that was only available for Shopify Plus customers. So it's the same idea here with checkout extensibility. The checkout UI components that allow you to customize checkout with these components, they're only available for Shopify Plus merchants. We've asked the Shopify team if there's any plans to make that available for everybody, but so far they've been adamant in saying no. But on the plus side, there are also a lot of customizations like order status page customizations that are coming soon, and the functions customizations that allow you to modify things like shipping and delivery and payment. So if you want, I can give some examples later. Basically, there's a lot of there's a lot of features coming to checkout that allow you to customize it that don't require Shopify Plus, and I'm going to make that available to every merchant too.
Mm-hmm. No, that sounds definitely good. I think having a customized checkout can have a huge impact on your conversion rate, because that's where people are the closest to their credit card. You got, as you said in the beginning, you got them all the way through paid traffic, through the product pages, cart, and all the steps. And now you have them on the checkout page. And obviously there you want to make sure that you have the right trust building elements, the right upsell elements, and so on and so forth to get the most out of it and to bring them really to the confirmation page, so make them a customer. Tell me a little bit about the implementation process. So what's the onboarding? What's the installation? How does that work?
So it's really simple. It's like basically 3 steps. You install the app, and then you create your component, and then you add it to the checkout editor. And that's basically the process that's the process of onboarding. So yeah, 3 steps should take a couple minutes.
Yeah. Is there kind of learning curve when it comes to training, or when to get to basically get started?
In terms of checkout extensibility, or like what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what do you need to do stepwise to get everything working?
Yeah. So okay, I guess I should touch on this point too, because like checkout extensibility is like this really big like bunch of features. And so like it's really big for Shopify as a whole. It affects Shopify, affects our developers, and it affects Shopify merchants. But then the key thing I think here is that Shopify extensibility is enabling customizing of checkout by essentially turning checkout into a platform. It's offering new primitives to checkout. So it's not readily available to Shopify merchants. It's developers like me and apps like Checkout Buddy that have to fill in the gap and take these primitives and make them available. So that's going to take some time to just like build integrations and build support. Yeah, so checkout extensibility is not really readily available for Shopify Plus merchants, but it is pretty much everything. It's going to be the future for moving forward with customizing checkout, because checkout.liquid is deprecating next year, August 13th, and then all you got are checkout extensibility and its apps.
Okay, makes perfect sense. Tell me a little bit about the pricing. How do you charge for the app?
So I got 2 plans right now. The first plan is free. If you want to try it out forever or as long as you want, you can try it out. and you can just use it too. Like if you make a lot of money with it, that's fantastic. It's free. But the free version is limited to one component. There's also a plus plan that's $49 a month. You can have as many customizations as you want, as many components, and all the customization settings. I am also introducing a new plan that's much cheaper and is available for all Shopify Plus merchants. I mean, all Shopify merchants, because those are the customizations that are not plus exclusive, and just the customizations I was talking about for the payment methods, delivery methods, fulfillment, and a lot of more functions. And that will be $19 a month.
Okay. Where can people find out more about Checkout Buddy?
It's on the Shopify App Store. Just search up Checkout Buddy, and it'll be there.
Cool. I will put the links in the show notes as always, and then it's just one click away. Kyle, thanks so much for giving us an overview of the Shopify extensions that you can do on the checkouts. I really like the idea that you can really work on it and make it better than it was in the past. As you said in the beginning, it was always a little bit hard-coded and you need to have a developer and was a bit of a pain in the neck. It has become so much easier now. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Hey, Klaus here. Before you go, I would like to invite you to become part of the e-commerce merchant pro community to get actionable advice from other Shopify merchants who already have achieved what you are aiming for. Our community is a safe place to actively grow your online retail business with the support of the most amazing and helpful group of e-commerce entrepreneurs behind you. Running a Shopify business is tough. Don't do it alone. Join us now. You will find the link in the show notes. Also, if you think your online store has conversion or marketing issues and you would like to have a fresh set of eyes on your business, then drop me an email at klaus@klauslauter.com and let me know a little bit about your business. It might be beneficial for you to have me look over your store, offers, emails, and ads, and get an unbiased outside perspective and guidance to help you make most of your online business. Thank you as always for tuning in today. I appreciate you. Until next time, and I talk to you soon.